Well, an elite all-boys prep school in New Jersey sends out a letter apologizing in a horrific sex abuse scandal that started at least 30 years ago. Our own Monica Guy is standing by with details. Monica?
Nate, the story actually started all the way back in 1968, and there's no indication of when it will end. That letter was posted on Del Barton School's website and sent to some of the school alumni. It reveals that over the course of the last 30 years, 30 people have come forward to say they were abused at the school. According to that letter, 13 monks and one lay teacher who worked at Del Barton are named as accusers. All of the monks came from St. Mary's Abbey, which supplies the school with many of its faculty. The letter goes on to say that we profoundly regret and apologize to anyone who has suffered sexual abuse or harassment because of the actions of a St. Mary's Abbey monk or Del Barton School employee. The letter goes on to talk about the policy at the school for reporting sexual abuse. One man who says he was abused by a monk from St. Mary's Abbey spoke with me exclusively about the torture he says he endured.
38 years, I kept it a secret. I always feared that it was my fault. The grooming process put me in a position where I thought I was doing something wrong. This guy was a master manipulator, and he was just very good at putting the onus back on me. Anytime I would refuse any of his advances, the next day would be a horror in school.
Rich says his story echoes those of other survivors who settled lawsuits with Del Barton.
The guy who abused me, the priest who abused me, it wasn't his first rodeo, so to speak. It just wasn't. He didn't become a master groomer when he met me. And someone's come out after to say that in 1968 he was abused by the same priest. Now, they're claiming that they never knew.
The lawyer who represents many of those men is attorney Greg Gianforcaro.
I've been contacted by a lot of people who are shocked at this document by what it discloses and the information that it discloses, because they can't believe the information. I will tell you that none of my clients are surprised by the information contained in.
Nate, I reached out to St. Mary's Abbey along with the Del Barton School, and at no time did anyone return my request for a comment. I also approached one of the school's attorneys in person, and he refused to speak with me too. Reporting for Chasing News, I'm Monica Guy.
Unbelievable. All right, thanks, Monica. Well, let's bring in former New Jersey prosecutor Bob Bianchi to weigh in. Bob, these claims are nearly 30 years old.
Many of these cases couldn't be brought because the statute of limitations in the criminal world had expired, which means even if you brought the charges, they would be dismissed. However, the statute of limitations for sexual abuse of children has changed over the many years to include to a point where now there is no statute of limitation.
Now, also, Bob, victims tell us the school deciding to send that letter and post it on their website was just to save donor contributions. What are your thoughts?
Look, nothing short of the institution falling apart will be probably satisfactory to many of the victims, and I can understand that. But the fact of the matter is the school did not have to put this up there, and if it's trying to protect its donor class so that it can continue in a proper fashion to ensure that children are not victimized, then I say, again, amen about that.
Unbelievable. All right. Thanks, Bob.